Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to explain you all how to find the answer for the question number 7 part B of 2015 A-level accounting paper. So here in the requirement section we have there are three requirements: accumulated fund as at 1st of April 2014, income statement for the year ending 31st March 2015, and the statement of financial position as at 31st March 2015. Unlike in the previous video, in this video I am going to show you all how to do each and every additional information. So I'm not gonna show you all how to prepare the income statement and the statement of financial position, because we have done so many questions so far, and I know that most of the students are familiar with the statements and also how those statements could be prepared properly. So I will start doing the question with the first additional information. The first one is the following information relates to PPE available as at 1st of April 2014. So this financial year ends on 31st March 2015. So the non-current assets given in here is actually the assets are for the year beginning. So sports ground 2000. So sports ground we do not depreciate. So 2000 is the closing balance if there is no any other additional information. And the pavilion cost is 1500. Accumulated depreciation is 750. Expected useful life is 20. And sports equipment 500. Accumulated depreciation 300. And the expected useful life is 5. So this information could be used to calculate the depreciation and also the first requirement, which is the accumulated fund as at 1st of April 2014. So here the ground 2000 you can include to calculate the opening accumulated fund. Ground 2000, which is 2 million, and we can get the pavilion cost is 1500. When you deduct the accumulated depreciation, you get the carrying value 750. So always to calculate the accumulated fund, you need to get not the cost but the carrying amount. So net book value. So pavilion net book value is 750. Sports equipment 500 is the cost, and the accumulated depreciation is 300. Therefore the net book value is 200. So 200,000. Right. So we included those non-current assets in accumulated fund calculation. Right. And now let's just see how to do the second adjustment. The renovation of the pavilion was completed on 1st of April 2014 and it was used from this day. So this renovation was done on the 1st of April 2014. This amount is not yet recognized in the pavilion account. Further, the remaining useful life of the pavilion has increased to 15 years from this date. Right. So this of course has a little bit of calculation. You can see now this information you need to calculate the depreciation for the period. So pavilion opening balance is 1500. The cost is 1500. And we have to see how much they have spent on the renovation. That could be identified by going through the receipts and payments account. In the receipts and payments account, on the credit side, you can see pavilion renovation 300,000. So due to this renovation, their remaining useful life of this asset has increased to 15 years. So that means if the remaining useful life of an asset increases, that expense should be capitalized. So in that case, to the opening cost 1500, you need to add 300,000. So then the asset value, pavilion asset is 1800. Since the remaining useful life has changed, you need to remove the accumulated depreciation that we have calculated so far. So this, of course, you should remember we learned for LKS 16. When the remaining useful life of an asset gets changed, what you need to do? You need to deduct the accumulated depreciation from the total cost. Then that has to be divided by the remaining useful life to calculate the depreciation for the year. So depreciation of pavilion is 70. How did we get this 70? By adding the renovation cost to the original cost and deducting the accumulated depreciation. Why we are deducting accumulated depreciation? Because of this expense, the remaining useful life increased to 50. Right. So the depreciation is, pavilion depreciation is 70. So depreciation is an expense. Now you know where to include this 70. This goes to income statement as an expense. And also children, you know that statement of financial position is another requirement in this question. They are under non-current assets, ground, no depreciation, so 2000 you can include. Now the pavilion. Pavilion value, how do you find? Now 1500 plus 300 is 1800. From 1800, when you deduct 750, it becomes how much? 1050. So when we deduct another 70, depreciation for the year, it becomes 980. So the net book value of pavilion is 980. So we calculated the depreciation of pavilion and also we identified the value that should be included under non-current assets in the SOFP. So the next asset is sports equipment. Sports equipment, there is an opening balance of 500. And let's just go through the second adjustment. The renovation of the pavilion was completed. So the renovation we did, we completed. And the third adjustment, the cash donation. Cash donation was received on 1st of April 2014 to purchase sports equipments. Right. On the first day of the financial year, there was a cash donation of 500,000 rupees that you can see in the receipts and payments account debit side. Donation for sports equipment 500. And they say the expected useful of these equipment is 5 years. Expected useful life of these equipments 5 years. It is the policy of the sports club to recognize donation in income over a period of 5 years from the year of receipts. Now children, here at the beginning of the period, sports equipment balance is 500. So that 500 worth sports equipments were there in the association throughout the year. So to calculate the depreciation, that 500 should be divided by 5 and get the depreciation relevant to the year. And on the credit side of the receipts and payments account, you may find sports equipment 500. So those 500 worth sports equipment, they have bought on the 1st of October 2014. So the new sports equipment depreciation also should be calculated. So 500 useful life, that has to be divided by the useful life, and you need to identify for how many months this asset was there in the association. So it was there in the association for 6 months only. So the new sports equipment's depreciation is 50. Therefore, the total depreciation is 150. All sports equipment depreciation 100 and the new sports equipment depreciation 50. So altogether 150. So this 150 is the expense relevant to the period that goes to the income statement as depreciation. Right. And now you know this sports equipments also you need to include in the SOFP under non-current assets. Sports equipment. So how do you find the net book value? Their opening balance, old equipments 500, and we bought some other equipments worth 500. Altogether 1000. That means 1 million worth sports equipment. And the opening accumulated depreciation is 300 and the current year depreciation is 150. Altogether total accumulated depreciation 450. So when you deduct 450 from 1000, your sports equipment net book value is 550. Right. So, and apart from that, here for sports equipments they receive this donation 500 that we found out in the receipts and payments account, and they say it is their policy to recognize donation in income over a period of 5 years. So 500,000 you need to divide by 5 to identify the donation income relevant to the period, that is 100,000. So this goes to the income statement under the incomes. So in total you receive 500 and you remove 100,000 rupees from 500,000 rupees donation account. So you are left with 400,000 rupees in the donation account that goes to the SOFP that has to be included after the accumulated fund. And let's move on to the next adjustment, which is the fourth one. The annual subscription per member is 6,000. The number of members of the club as at 1st of April 2014 was 40. That means at the beginning of the period there were 40 members. Annual subscription is 6,000. On this day, another 10 members joined and they paid 2-year subscription of year 2013-2014. Subscription at once. So it says on this day another 10 members joined and they paid 2-year subscription at once. Right. So in that case, by the end of the financial year, there were how many altogether? 50 members. So they are supposed to pay an annual subscription of 6,000. So the subscription income relevant to the period is 300,000. So this 300,000 you need to include in the income statement. So if you want, you can draw a subscription account and include that in the debit side. Income and expenditure account debit 300, and in the income statement under the incomes you can include that 300,000. And they say subscription received during the current year also includes 30,000 received in respect of year 2013 to 14. Right, so subscription that you have received in total you find in the receipts and payments account, it is 390. So 390, what's the double entry? Receipts and payments account debit, subscription account credit, 390. Right, and in this 390, 30,000 rupees is relevant to the previous year. That means at the beginning of the year, subscription receivable you need to include as an opening balance, which is an asset. So that appears on the debit side. And also we got to know 10 new members have joined and they have paid subscription for 2 years. That means paying for this current year is not a problem. But they have paid, these 10 members have paid for the next year as well. Then it is an income received in advance. So for you, income received in advance is a liability. So that should appear on the credit side of the subscription account in the next financial year. For you to have a credit balance, you need to show the carried down balance on the debit side, 60,000. So this 60,000 subscription received in advance should be considered as a liability in the SOFP. Under current liabilities, you need to show this 60,000. So when you find out the totals, there is no balance. So here no opening balance, no closing balance. So we have already included everything related to subscription in the relevant places of the financial statements. Let's move on to the next, which is the last adjustment. The sports ground is hired to outsiders by charging 300,000 rupees per sports festival. 60% of this amount is payable as an advance at the time the ground is booked and the balance on the day of the sports festival. The details of these sports festivals are as follows. Festival number 1 completed on 1st of July 2014. Receipt of cash during the current year, full amount including the advance was received. So this festival number 1, of course, completed during the financial year. So the total 300,000 is an income relevant to the period. So that goes to the income statement. Right. And the second one completed on the 8th of November 2014. Only the advance was received. Although only the advance was received, this festival number 2 also, total 300 is an income relevant to the period. So both 300, festival number 1, festival number 2 in total should be included in the income statement as an income relevant to the period. So 300,000 in the festival number 2, 300,000 into 60%. So you have received only the advance, 180,000 was received. Right? So the remaining amount, which is 120, 300 minus 180, 120 is receivable. So this receivable by the end of the year you need to include in the SOFP under current assets. And if you take the festival number 3, that to be held in the first week of April of 2015. So that belongs to the next financial year. So that shouldn't be considered as an income. But they have received the advance, which is 180. So that amount you need to consider as a current liability in the SOFP. So we are done with all the additional information. Next thing that you are required to do is actually go through the receipts and payments account and include the items in the relevant place. So there is an opening balance of 80,000 in the receipts and payments account. So that opening balance you need to include here to calculate the accumulated fund, opening balance, cash, opening balance 80 should be added. And donation for sports equipment already we have taken into consideration. Subscription also we took. Entry fees 120. Entry fees 120 goes to the income statement as an income. Ground hire fees in total 660 they have received. 660 they have received, but we identified what is the amount exactly relevant to the period. Only 600 is relevant to the period. And pavilion renovation we already adjusted here. And salaries, groundsmen and managers, you need to include them separately as expenses in the income statement. Office expenses 50 also should be included in the income statement. Ground maintenance also you need to include in the income statement as an expense. Sports equipment 500 we have already adjusted here. And the closing balance of 150 receipts and payments account, closing balance goes to the SOFP under current assets. And in this subscription account there is an opening balance. They haven't specifically mentioned this is an opening balance, but we identified it through the preparation of subscription account. So this opening balance 30 also should be added here to calculate the opening accumulated fund. So accumulated fund here is 3,60,000 rupees, and the surplus you should be getting 100,000 if you have included all the incomes and the expenses correctly. And in the SOFP, these are the non-current assets, and I showed you all what are the current assets and current liabilities you need to include. And if you know the opening accumulated fund and the surplus, then you can find the closing accumulated fund in the SOFP, and after the accumulated fund, you can include the donation account balance, this 400. So that's all, children. I hope you could understand all the additional information and how those should be adjusted.